Good morning, my dear children. How are you all? I hope you all very fine. So today we are going to see chapter 7 from geography. Okay. So human, environment, settlement, transport and communication. Human, environment, settlement, transport and communication. So we are going to see about human environment, how it is, okay, our human surroundings, how it is, and settlement, where they settle, what are the types of settlement, transport, what are the type of transport we have, and communication, how we communicate. So these are the things we are going to see in this lesson. Okay, so most part of this lesson you may have seen already, you may have read already, you may know everything. Okay, it's like a just recap of what you know. Okay, so these are the things you know already, but you are going to see in this lesson. Okay, so let's start. First we are going to see about settlements. Okay, so first topic is settlements. So settlements are places where people build their homes. Okay, so settlements means the places where we build our homes. Okay, so that is called settlement. Okay, early human beings lived on trees and in caves. So early human beings, they lived on trees and caves and near the mountains. Okay, so they lived like that. But how we are living, we are constructing house and we are living in that, right? So that is called settlements. Okay, so you have understood what is settlement? Very good, children. So now we are going to see about two types of settlement. One is permanent and the other one is temporary. Permanent settlement or temporary settlement. Okay, so we are going to see about the settlement one by one. So first we are going to see about temporary settlements. Temporary settlements. So what is temporary settlements? That means settlements which are occupied for a short time, okay, temporarily. So we are making that as our settlement for only, we are living in that place only for a short time. So that is called temporary settlement. That is called temporary settlements. Okay, children. So people living in deep forest, inside the forest, in hot and cold deserts, mountains, they often live in this temporary settlements. Okay, so they, if any problem, they will move to the other place, or in not only problem, or in search of food or climate, because of climate. So because of several reasons, they will move from place to place, they change their settlements. So this is called as temporary settlements. Okay, so these people, they mainly practice hunting animals, or gathering fruits, vegetables, or shifting cultivation, like they will do one cultivation in one place, then will move to the other place, or transshumance, like moving their all the cattle and moving from one to place. So like this, they move on. Okay, so this is called as temporary settlement. Understood, children? Very good. So look at these two pictures, so you may get an idea about temporary settlement. Okay, children. So next slide. So now we are going to see about permanent settlement. So like us, we are constructing one house and we are living in that house. Okay. So permanent settlement means where people build homes to live in permanently. Okay. That is called permanent settlement. So settlement can be further classified into two categories. Now it's over. Okay, now that first classification based upon the living time, we classified as temporary settlement and permanent settlement. Now that is over. Now we are going to see another one classification based on the settlement. Okay, that is rural settlement. Okay, that is called rural settlement, and the other one is urban settlement. So rural settlement in village areas and urban settlement in city area. Okay, so we are going to see that. Okay, first we are going to see about rural settlement, rural and village settlement. So villages or rural settlements where people are engaged in activities like agriculture, fishing, forestry, crafts work and trading, etc. So village or the rural settlement, in this area people are engaged in doing agriculture, fishing, then forestry, then doing some craft work and trading. Okay, rural settlement can be compact or scattered. Like compact means closely built areas, houses will be closely built. In some areas like scattered, there and here we can find some houses. Okay, understood children? So compact settlement. In rural area, we are again seeing two types, compact settlement and scattered. In compact means it's a closely built area of houses and where flat land is available. Okay, so this is called compact settlement, and this is like scattered. There and here we will find few houses. Okay, so scattered settlements we have seen, it's like it's an extended area and like hilly tracts, thick forest, in extreme climates. In those areas, people built there and here houses. Okay, and in rural areas, people build houses to suit their environment. Okay, according to the environment, they build their house in that way to suit the environment. So in region of heavy rainfall, they have slanting roofs. So if the place is in heavy rainfall, then they will build slanting roofs so that that rain will be like flowing and getting down. It will not be safe there. It's like flowing. Okay, slanting roofs. Next, places where water accumulates in the draining season, the houses are constructed on a raised platform or slits. So, if in that place, if during rain, if water comes and gets saved in that down place, so what will be? They will be some raised platform. They will build little high. Okay, so that water will not enter into the house. Okay, then thick walled houses with thatched roofs are very common in area of hot climate. So in a hot climate place, they will construct thick mud walled house or like thatched roofs so that it will not be not hot. Okay. Then urban settlement. So in urban areas, people are engaged in many different jobs like manufacturing, trading, and service in cities. Okay. Okay. Now settlement part over. Now we are going to transport services. We are going to see about transport. So transport means in which we people and our goods, we are moving from one place to another place with the help of this transport. So in the early days, people used to walk and animal used to carry their goods. Okay, before transport arrived, people used to walk and animal used to carry their goods. Then invention of wheel made transport easier. So early traders from other countries, they have taken many time to reach India. Okay, so they took either the sea route or the land route. Okay, so modern means of transport that saves time and energy. So now we are having many modern transport that saves our time and our energy. There are four major means of transport: roadways, railways, waterways and airways. Roadways, railways, waterways and airways. So repeat along with me, my dear children, what are the types of transport? Roadways, railways, waterways and airways. Okay children, we'll by one. First we are going to see about roadways. So what is roadways? The most commonly used means of transport, especially for short distance, that is called a road. Okay, so commonly we use road, right? We are using bus, car, bike, or this roads. Okay, so they can be like metalled or unmetalled. So metal means using stones or like constructed metal roads. Unmetal means like it's like made of soil. Okay, so we have metal and unmetal road. So sometimes road have been built in terrains like desert, forest, even in high mountains like Ooty. You can see, right? Most of you have gone to Ooty, I think. So you can see in the mountain also roads will be there. Okay. So Manali Leh, that highway is the Himalayan mountain. That is in Himalayan mountain. Manali Leh highway. That is one of the highest roadway in the world. So Manali Leh highway in the Himalayan mountain is one of the highest roadway in the world. Then some roads we built underground that are called subway or underpass. So underground also we will construct road, that is called subway or underpass. Okay children. Then we sometimes will like bridge they will build, flyovers. Okay, raised structure, that is called flyovers. Understood children? Very good. Next we are going to see about railways. So railways, as you all know, so So the invention of steam engine, first steam engine made this rail transport development. After that, now steam, diesel and electric engines are used. Okay, so the using a train we can move to the distant places, and the Indian railway network is well developed, which is largest in Asia. Okay, children. So now we are going to see about waterways. So this is the cheapest way for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distance. Okay, so we can carry heavy and bulky goods over long distance using this waterways. So waterways is the cheapest way for carrying heavy and bulky goods over long distance. Okay, so there are two types. One is inland waterways and sea routes. Okay, what are the two types of waterways? Inland waterways and sea routes. Okay, children. So first we are going to see about some famous inland waterways like Ganga Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lakes in North America, and the River Nile in Africa. Okay, and sea routes or ocean routes. They are mostly used for transporting goods from one country to another country. Okay, these countries are connected to the ports or those. Okay, some of the important ports of the world are Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York, Los Angeles in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, London and Rotterdam in Europe. So these are the famous. Okay, so in sea route, and this is like inland waterways. Okay, so next we are going to see about airways. So airways is the fastest way of transport. Comparing to all other transports, this airway is the fastest way of transport. Okay, so it is little expensive comparing to other transport. This is the most expensive due to the cost of fuels. And here is traffic, air traffic. In land we can see traffic due to some other reasons. In air traffic, that is affected by bad weather like fog or storms or heavy rainfall, like that. Okay, it is the only mode of transport to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there are no roads and railways. So where there are roads and roads and railways and very distant places, even there we can reach with this airways. And helicopters that are extremely useful in going to the inaccessible areas during the time of calamities, natural calamities like flood and some reasons for rescuing people and for distributing food, water, clothes and medicine. This helicopter is used. So you might have seen in TV, in news, during some flood times, the rescue team will go in the helicopter and they will help people. They will deliver food, water, and they will sometimes they will rescue using helicopter also. Okay, next we are going to see about communication. So communication means conveying message to others. What we are thinking, that message we are conveying to others, that is called communication. So with the development of technology, humans have devised new and fast mode of communication. Now we can communicate with anyone at any time, right? We have very modern means of communication. So we use different means of communication to provide information, to educate people. Even now you are using technology for learning, right? Online teaching, online learning. So through newspaper, radio, television, we can communicate with a large number of people. So these are called as mass media, communicating to large number of people. So that are called as mass media, covering mass people. So that is called mass. The satellite have made communication even faster. So satellite made communication even faster. That is, you helped in oil exploration, survey of forest, finding underground water, mineral wealth, weather forecast, disaster warning. So these all done by satellite. So wireless telephonic communication through cellular phones, our mobile phone, that is very popular now, right? Then internet not only provide us worldwide information, but also we can interact with each other. We can talk to anyone at any time. This is kind of interconnectivity of people, service and institutions across the world. We are a large global society connected to each other. Okay? We can now we are sitting in India and we can know the news where and what is happening in US, UK. So this is known as communication, and this is because of modern means of communication. So that's all in this lesson, my dear children. As I told you, you may know all this information before itself. So it's an easy and interesting lesson. So thank you children. Have a nice day.